Hello, Form 2, good morning. Last time we've learned the short division. Do you remember the short division? Let's recall the short division. So this is what we did last time. We have to, using short division to break down the following numbers into prime number factors. So using short division to break down the following numbers into prime number factors. So first of all, let's try to break down the 18. Remember how to break it down using short division? So first of all, we have to think of a prime number. Oh yes, prime number. Prime number. So what are prime numbers? Prime numbers are the numbers that could be divided by 1 or itself, no any other number else. So the smallest one is 2 by definition. And then 3. Is 4 a prime number? No, 4 could be divided by 2. So 4 is not a prime number. What about 5? Yes, 5 is a prime number. What about 6? No, 6 number also could be divided by 2. All the even numbers could be divided by 2. Therefore, 6 is not a prime number. What about 7? Yes, 7 is a prime number. What about 8? No, 8 is an even number, could be divided by 2. What about 9? 9? 9 could be divided by 3. So 9 is not a prime number. 10 is even number, so 10 is not prime. What about 11? And then 13. So these are the prime numbers. Could be divided by 1 or itself. So when you try to do the short division, you should try to use prime number to do the division. So you better start from the smallest one, which is 2. So since it is an even number, it must be able to be divided by 2. So 18 divided by 2 becomes, yes, 9. And then you have to continue to do the division. So 9 is odd number. 9 could not be divided by 2. 9 divided by 2 will have a decimal number, 4.5. So it is not allowed. So you have to think of another prime number. What about 3? 9 divided by 3 becomes 3. So whenever you've got a prime number as a result, 3 is a prime number, you stop here. So this is the result. 2, 3, 3. That means 18 could be you could rewrite 18 into 2 times 3 times 3. 2 times 3 times 3. If you are not sure, please double check. 2 times 3 becomes 6. 6 times 3 becomes 18. That's correct. Okay? And then what about 88? So let's try to do 88. Of course, we should use, because 88 is obviously even number, so it could be divided by 2. Let's try to use 2. So 88 divided by 2 become 44. Okay? And then, what about 44? What prime number will you use? 44, is it even number? Yes, even number, so it could be divided by 2. Let's use 2. 44 divided by 2 becomes 22. And then 22 even number could be divided by 2. Let's try to use 2. 22 divided by 2 becomes 11. So should we continue? No, because 11 is already a prime number, so we should stop here. Therefore, this is the result. 88 could be written as 2 times 2 times 2 times 11. 2 times 2 times 2 times 11. Okay? And then what about 148? 148. So first of all, what number should I use? 2. because it is even number. So 148 divided by 2. Can you tell me the answer without using calculator? 148 divided by 2. Oh, 74. We've got 74. And 74, oh, even number. So you should try to continue to use 2. 74 divided by 2 is 37. And then 37, is it even number? No, it's not even number, so we should not use 2. Then what about 3? Try. 37 divided by 3. Oh, decimal number, so it cannot. So 37 divided by next prime number is 5. Try to use 5. 7.4 decimal number, so also cannot. 37 divided by what about the next prime number? So 3 cannot, 5 cannot, what about 7? 37 divided by 7, decimal number, no, cannot. And then the next one is 11, try 11, 37 divided by 11, also cannot. What about the next one is 13, let's try 13, 37 divided by 13, also cannot. Now it seems that it could not be divided by any other numbers, so maybe this is a prime number. So think, yes, 37 can only be divided by 1 or itself. It is a prime number. So we stop here. This is the result. 148 equals to 2 times 2 times 37. So we stop here. Okay? So this is how we use the short division to break down the numbers into these prime number factors. So you may now wonder, why do we need to learn this? When do we use the short division? Why do we need the prime number factors? Because it is very useful. So let's continue today's lesson. You have to go to so these are the things that we just did. So we try to break down these numbers into prime number factor. 88 equals to 2 times 2 times 2 times 11. 148 equals to 2 times 2 times 37. 45 equals to 3 times 3 times 5. And 99 equals to 3 times 3 times 11. So these are all the prime number factors. These numbers are all prime numbers. Okay? Because why do we need to learn this? Because it is useful in the next part. So are you able to pronounce this? How do we call this? Square root of 25, square root of 18, square root of 8, square root of 38, square root of 145, square root of 88. So as long as inside the square root there's a number, so the whole thing we call it a third. So this is a third, this is a third, 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 third. These are all third. In math, there's a way for us to simplify the third. So how do we simplify them? Simplify a third, we use this method. Example number 1. If you are given square root of 18, first of all, forget about the square root. Forget about the square root. The number 18. You should try to break it down into prime number factors like this. Break down the number 18 into prime number factors. 2 times 3 times 3. So that we have 18 equals to 2 times 2 times 3. And then look at all these prime number factors. If you have 2 of them exactly the same, they could be combined into the same group. So 3 and 3 are the same, right? So this part, you could combine them into 3 to the power of 2. 3 times 3 is 3 to the power of 2. So that we have 18 equals to 2 times 3 to the power of 2. Alright? So that you could rewrite, because 18 is equal to 2 times 3 to the power of 2, you could rewrite 18, we don't need the 18 anymore. You could write 2 times 3 to the power of 2. Square root is still here. You just change the number 18 into 2 times 3 to the power of 2. Okay? And then after that, you could separate the square root. So you could separate them. The first number 2 has the square root. The second term, 3 to the power of 2, also has a square root. So you're going to separate them. Square root of 2, square root of 3 to the power of 2. Is it okay? And then now the amazing thing is going to happen. Because square and square root, they are enemy to each other. When they meet, they cancel each other, so that we could cancel out square and square root. We don't have the square and square root anymore. So we've got only 3, the number left behind. So here we have, what do we have? We have square root of 2 times 3. Square root of 2 times 3. There's nothing in between, that means it is multiplication times. And usually, this is a third, this is a number. Normally, we put the number in the front. It looks better, so that we write 3 times square root of 2. Now, this is how we simplify a third. From square root of 18, simplified as 3 times square root of 2. Okay? Now, let's look at the next one. What about 75? So, are you able to simplify this? 75. First of all, you have to break it down. So let's go to here. Space 75. I need to break it down by using prime numbers. So the prime numbers are 2, 3, and then the next one is 5, the next one is 7, and then 11 and 13. So these are the prime numbers. So 75, we have to break it down using a prime number. Can we use 2? No, because it is an odd number. It's not even, so we could not use 2. What about 3? Can we use 3? You may try 3. 75 divided by 3. What is that? Oh, 25. So it becomes 25. And then you're going to continue. Can we use 2? No, 25 is an odd number. Cannot use 2. Can we use 3? So let's try 25 divided by 3. Oh, no, not nice. 3 cannot. So what about 5? Let's try 5. 25 divided by 5 becomes 5. Oh, becomes 5. And look at this. 5 is already a prime number. So we stop here. We do not need to continue. That means that this is the result. 3 times 5 times 5. 75 could be written as 3 times 5 times 5. Okay? And remember that if you find 2 of them are exactly the same, you could group them into the same group. So you could write them as 5 to the power of 2. Okay? Now let's go back to here. Now we know that 75, we could use short division. Okay. I make a mistake here. 5 times 5. Sorry. Okay. Welcome. I'm so sorry to keep you waiting. I have to restart the PowerPoint. Oh, where is it, my example? Like here. Okay, let's start over. We're doing square root of 75. We have to simplify this, so we have to use the short division to break down the number 75. And we know that According to the short division, we've got 3 times 5 times 5. And since 2 of them, you see that they are the same. So you should group them into the same group. We write them as 5 to the power of 2. So that we have 75 equals to 3 times 5 to the power of 2. So now let's go back to here. We could rewrite the number. We don't need the 75 anymore. We could write 3 times 5 to the power of 2. But the square root is still here. Don't forget the square root. We just change the number inside. Okay? And now, do you remember what to do next? The square root. We could split it up, separate the square root so that we have square root of 3 times square root of 5 to the power of 2. Okay? And then anything that we could cancel, square root and square, they are just the enemy to each other. So cancel them out to cancel each other. And then that means what? That means what do we have here? We have just 5. No more square root, no more square, just 5. So that means square root of 3 times 5. So this is what we've got here. Square root of 3. Oh, I make a mistake. Okay. I'm very sorry. I have to change it back. 3 and 5. 3 and 5. Okay, done. So after we cancel out, we have got 5 here, right? So square root of 3 times 5. And then normally we put the number in the front, the third at the back, so that you should write 5 times square root of 3. Okay? Now, I know that you need more examples, so let's continue. Look at the next one. Look at the next one. Oh, what's going on? How come? I have to start over. Go back to 75. Done. What about this? Okay, let's do this one. Alright, the next one, we're gonna do square root of 24. So, let's do this. 24, we have to break it down using short division. What number should I use first? Of course 2, because it is even number. So 24 divided by 2 becomes 12. And then 12 is also even number. You should continue to use 2. 12 divided by 2 becomes 6. And then 6 is also even number. Divided by 2. 6 divided by 2 becomes 3. And then we should stop here because 3 is already a prime number. So this is the result. 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. And now, any 2 of them could be grouped into the same group. You see that these 2 are the same, right? So you should group them into the same group. These two are the same. So you should group them as 2 to the power of 2, and then we have still one more 2 and 1 3. So 2 to the power of 2 times 2 times 3. Therefore, now we could replace the 24, the number. We don't need the 24 anymore. You could write down these prime number factors. So write down square root of 2 to the power of 2 times 2 times 3. Okay? And then next, what's next? Separate the square root. Yes. So we have the first guy, square root 2 to the power of 2. The second guy, square root of 2 and square root of 3. Okay, you can separate them like this. And why do we need to separate them? Because later square and square root can be cancelled out. Square and square root can be cancelled out. So that we've got 2 only, right? 2 and then square root of. Now you may bring them back. 2 times 3 becomes 6. So that the result is square root of 24 equals to 2 times square root of 6. Then we can stop here. Right? So let's do one more. What about 36? 36. And then What about 36? How to break it down? 36. Can you do that? Divided by 36 is an even number, so use 2. 36 divided by 2 become 18. 18 is also even number, could be divided by 2. 18 divided by 2 become 9. And 9, could 9 be divided by 2? No, 2 cannot, is an odd number. So you should try the next one. What about 3? 9 divided by 3 becomes 3. So that you could stop now because 3 is already a prime number. So this is the result. 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. Therefore, we have 36 equals to 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. Now remember, two of them, if you find that they are the same, you should group them into the same group. These two are the same, and these two are also the same, so that you should group them into, first of all, 2 to the power of 2 and 3 to the power of 2. Alright? So let's rewrite the 36 into 2 to the power of 2 and 3 to the power of 2. Don't forget the square root is still here. Okay? And now you should separate them. Square root of 2 to the power of 2 and square root of 3 to the power of 2. And then you will see that after you separate them, square and square root could be cancelled out, square root and square could be cancelled out. So here we've got only 2, and here we've got only 3. So what's going on in between is multiplication, times, so that it becomes just 2 times 3, 2 times 3, which is 6. Oh, which is very nice. Square root of 36 equals to 6 after you simplified. Okay? And today I've prepared you 2 exercises. Exercise 8 and also 9. There are 2 exercises. Here. Exercise 8 and exercise 9. For exercise 8 and exercise 9. For 8, I've done the short division for you. It is given to you. What you have to do is try to simplify the third. So 8 equals to 2 times 2 times 2, right? So that you could group them, 2 of them are the same. You group them into the same group so that you could put it this way. And that means square root of 8 could be written as square root of 2 to the power of 2 times 2. Okay? So you could separate the square root. The first guy has the square root, the second guy has the square root, right? And then something could be cancelled out. Square root and square could be cancelled out, so that we've got 2 left behind. And here we will still have square root of 2, and then it is done. So square root of 8 equals to 2 times square root of 2. Then what about this one? So any 16, according to the short division, equals to 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, right? So 2 of them are the same. 2 of them are the same, so you should group them into 2 groups. First of all, 2 to the power of 2, and then the second group also 2 to the power of 2. So that means square root of 16 could be written as square root of 2 to the power of 2 times 2 to the power of 2. Okay? And then of course we have to separate them, 2 square roots. And then after that, square and square root can also be cancelled out. So that we have, here we have only 2 left behind, there we have only 2 left behind. And in between there's nothing, it means multiplication times 2 times 2, which is 4. Okay? So, this is today's work, worksheet number 8, today's work. And then I would like to give you one more. Number 9, worksheet 9. For worksheet 9, the short division, the result of the short division is not given to you. So that you have to do by yourself. You have to do it by yourself. Now let me try to do, what about 225? 225. So you have to do the division by yourself. 225. You have to do the division. And then you have to think of a prime number. 2 cannot because 225 is odd number. And then what about try 5? So is it okay using 225 divided by 5? Oh, nice, 45. And then I know that 45 could be divided by 5, so I use 5. 45 divided by 5, which is 9. And then what about 9? What number should I use? Yes, 3. 9 divided by 3 becomes 3. Oh, it is prime number, so we stop here. That means square root of 225 equals to square root of, because 2 of them are the same, so 5 to the power of 2. 2 of them are the same, 3 to the power of 2. So square root of 225 could be written as square root of 5 square times 3 square. Right? And then of course we could separate the square root. Each of them has a square root. And then square and square root can be cancelled out, so that we've got 5 left behind only, and here we've got 3 left behind only. In between is multiplication times. Therefore the result is 15. Okay? Now let me do one more. What about number 2? Okay, there's a negative sign here. Now ignore the negative sign, just keep the negative sign here. Just try to break down your number 81 using short division. Using short division, 81, 2 cannot because it's odd number. Using 3, try to use 3. 81 divided by 3, 27. Again, 27 is odd number, so we should not use 2. Then let's try 3. 9 become 9 divided by 3. 9 obviously could be divided by 3, the result is 3. So that it is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Now since 2, 3 are the same, we could group them into 3 to the power of 2, and these 2, 3 are the same, also 3 to the power of 2. So that you may write 3 to the power of 2 times 3 to the power of 2. Okay? So let's keep this negative sign in the front. Separate the square root of 3 to the power of 2, and then square root of 3 to the power of 2. So square and square root could be cancelled out. Now we've got what do we have? We have 3 left behind. Here we've got 3 left behind. And don't forget the negative sign in the front. In between is multiplication. So that we have negative 3 times 3 become 9. Negative 9 is the result. Alright? So today's homework, there are 2 worksheets. Worksheet 8 and worksheet 9. Please try them. After that, take a picture and submit your work. Alright? Alright, see you next time on, should be on Saturday. Okay, bye-bye.